Hello, YouTube. Mochismo Eugene here. I'm coming to you guys again real quick. Very, very beautiful day out in sunny Opelika, Alabama. I am excited to be here. Took a trip home for a little while. Helped my sister do some stuff on her beautiful, gorgeous house. Take a look at it. Look at this. That's an awesome husband. And that's a beautiful, beautiful house in which they both created together. And they even made a little mini house for their daughter. Ain't that something? She's only 11 years old. She's worth it. She's a smart girl. She's very respectful. That's the way we raised them in the South. And I haven't lost it at 50 years old. So, back to what I want to say. Oh, the narcissist, man. Paula did a video on Narcon regarding, the spiritual warfare we're fighting. And I made a comment saying, that people please embrace what she's saying. And although you may not be spiritual or you might not be religious, I'm a Christian, undeniably so. Not the kind that you might find in the traditional church. I'm that kind that believe in the blood of Jesus Christ, Him crucified, and the things that I believe that He can do through you and in you if you just submit to Him. Living proof. He's the only one who could have helped me understand what I went through with this situation, and to be not totally healed, but healed in the sense where I'm actually already trying to help people become aware of what's going on, because I got the insight, I believe, that's heading me towards the victory line. The merry-go-round. If you ever notice adults go to the carnival and you got the kids with them, they have the kids with them, and they are always pretty much excited to get on the merry-go-round, more so than the child is. I thought about that. I said, man, I wonder if these guys got this childlike mentality, and everybody has liked the merry-go-round. But if I go to the carnival now, I don't think it appeals to me that much, because basically all this thing does is it goes around, the merry-go-round does. It's a very boring ride, and it's a safe ride for most people. They just want to sit on there and just relax. But the trade-off, it takes more energy to get on these dang horses, which you end up sliding off of, and they hard. And you get on this thing for what seems like eternity. It's going so slow you fall asleep. But I think the narcissists, in their mind, this is what they're on, a merry-go-round. They, the loop. And I shared this before. My soon-to-be ex-narc wife, she would sit in front of the front loader washing machine and just essentially sit there and watch it go around and around. And Dave in Narcology Unscripted, he talks about spin cycle. There's a strong connection to this type of stuff, in which they find soothing, very appealing, very interesting. They find in like the merry-go-round, the very childlike, adolescent things in life. I'd walk in the kitchen from a day out doing work or whatever, and I walk into the kitchen area and to discover she has a dress on, or skirt. I don't know, one of the two. I don't know really the difference. I guess the skirt goes all the way down to ankles. Yeah, a skirt that normally supposed to be around her waist and going down to her ankles. She would have it pulled all the way up high, up on her boobs, or above her boobs. So she'd be wearing it like a dress. And I get it. I think I've seen it occasionally, and they make dresses like this. And her being a short individual, I get it. But she would also have on head garb and a scarf wrapped around her waist. It would almost be like she's playing dress up. And I would come in and nonchalantly just look at her, and I'd have a smirk like this. And she'd be like, what? And I'd be like, and this is them wanting a reaction from you. At the time, I didn't realize that, but I would say sometimes it was apparent that she was looking for attention. That was kind of undeniable. But I didn't know about the disease that starves for it all the time. So I said, what do you got on? She's like, what? You don't like it? And so to this early conclusion of this video, I actually just want to talk about the merry-go-round, man. And they're on a loop. And also, regarding Paula talking about the spiritual warfare, man, this is a spiritual war. And it's an assault, an attack on God. And if you are not so much religious, but you have a center, a core, a belief that there's something in control of the universe and it's not you, you are in a good place, as opposed to a narcissist that has no regulation to anything above them or beside them. Everything is beneath them. And that is a grandiose thinking. That is a superiority that they don't often speak about, but in their mind and minds, this is how they perceive everything around them. Nothing is better than them. So it's a very, very subtle sneak attack type disease. And the ones of you that are in these relationships and you think that there is some hope, it's hopeless. It's very hopeless. And there's a guy on here, I won't call his name, but it's something that he often says. If you just believe that they're going to change, he said, you show me one instance where they've changed. Just show me one. And he said, and I'll be satisfied. He said there isn't a case of any. Even Sam Vaknin, he's in it for the pure adulation and attention, and he says as much. I listen to him a lot. The insight he has is stellar. So you can learn a lot of things from even the monsters that exist among us. And he doesn't deny that. And I like the video where he does the conference and the lady is translating, and he basically tells them, you're looking at me, you think I'm human. He say, I'm not a human being, pretty much. He say, I know you humans, I can understand you. He say, you basically are all the same. You're pretty simple to understand. So for him to say this is worse than COVID-19 and he himself is 2-time diagnosed narcissist, I think we need to really, really embrace it for what it is. Stop playing around in denial, playing around in this make-believe world like the narcissist does. And quit believing that your prayer alone is going to solve these problems. You pray and you fast, but you run like hell. You get this knowledge, you get this information, because there are people who have experienced this, and they are telling you their story. And this is the way God has designed it, because you ain't going to learn this in seminary, you ain't going to learn this in the church, you're not going to learn this in psychological counseling. Because some have said, even Dr. Romani says, most psychologists don't even have any clue about narcissistic personality disorder. They diagnose people for depression and different things and send them home with a slew of medication, do's and don'ts, and end up missing the bullseye by a mile, and further allowing these people to go home to be tortured. So to cap that off, the merry-go-round they're on. So next time you go to the carnival and you see a whole bunch of grown-ups on the merry-go-round, you'll know why. I'm just kidding. Ride the merry-go-round if you will. I don't see any harm in it. Beautiful house. I was here 2 years ago. Yeah, man, I'm a survivor, man. That's getting things done. Always have. It's just that release from the toxic energy vampires. And you find yourself, man, this is who I am to begin with. By the grace of God, didn't lose myself in this. I want to put up some roofs, some little small roofs over here. Just don't think that's a good design for these things to be. You got water, they rust out. For what these things cost, I don't know why they don't have them in some kind of little cradle. House is about 3 years old. I did this fence 2 years ago I was only here 2 weeks, but she's happy with it. Kind of steeped it down because of the landscape here. Who do you know got 4 of these on their house? I mean, okay. Like, share, and leave a comment. I'd be delighted just to hear you guys say hello. This is a new addition that she had added with the concrete here. I was supposed to come home and do it, but I'm glad I didn't, because this is a big undertaking, and they pitched it to this way. But this is something they didn't do correctly. The bricklayers, this is where the porch ended initially. They added this portion on here, but what they did, the bricklayer, if you put the level on these bricks, they're not level. A lot of money went into this, by the way. So therefore, the guys who came and poured the concrete, they went with the brick, and rightly so. And if you can see, I don't know if you can see, the seam in the joint of the brick tells the story. Unbelievable. But, not a perfect world. Some of us make mistakes, think they're going to fix it, but maybe some liabilities there. May have to take them to court. Not to really get money, but just to kind of force them to come back and do what they're supposed to do. This house has 7 bathrooms, I think, and 6 bedrooms, or 7 bedrooms and 6 bathrooms. I'm not sure. Last time I was here 2 years ago, I tried to use every one of them during the 2 weeks, and I would forget which one I didn't use. And this is the front. Beautiful neighborhood in Opelika, Alabama. We're close to Tiger Town, which is like maybe 2 miles up the road. As close as she is to this road, you don't even hear the traffic. I just love this place, man. It's where I grew up in Alabama. 20 years ago, I left. Concrete guy came today. He gave us some leftover concrete he had. And my sister's one not to waste anything. Told him drop it here, and we kind of screeded it out and broomed it, and that was that. So the next episode, I want you guys to know I'm doing very well. The children came with me. We brought the little puppy who you've seen in a video before, and we had a delightful drive. So until I come back, guys, be blessed.